pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of a nation. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signs the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great becoming light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been stirred in the flame of withering injustice. It came as joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lived on along the island of poverty, in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishes in the corner of American society and finds himself an exile of his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to your nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of your republic were the magnificent word of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, will be guaranteed unavailable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has the fault of this promissory note, insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this strict obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great balls of opportunity of this nation. And so we've come to shut this check, a check that will give us upon the pen the return of freedom and the security of injustice. I say to you today, my dear friends, and so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of this creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. When this happens, and when we allow free the reign, when we let it rain from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speak of that day when all of the children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestant and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the word of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thanks, God Almighty, we are free at last.